That's one, two, one, two, one, two. They don't shoot no sound. That's one, two, one, two. Mic check one, one. Hmm? Mm-hmm. We do. Mic check one, two, one, two. Yeah. Hey y'all. Hey, it's the Caravan of Dreams, the redo. Y'all know what it is. It's Monday. It's eight something. Still eight something. It's still eight something. Okay. So we listen. We running a little late, but we're gonna go on and get started. We're not gonna delay anymore. Hope everybody's doing okay today. Happy Monday to everybody. All right. Okay, okay. So listen, let's just kick it off here with the situation, which I think Okay. All right. Everybody there? We here, y'all. We here. We're back. Like I said before, let's start on the situation with Pastor Keon Henderson, the church out of Houston. I'm sure that all of you or most of you have probably seen, what's, it's kind of a buzz right now, right? So I guess what was happening was he was, basically um, he's singing, trying to, I guess, provoke, the spirit or whatever. But in the background, okay, okay, all right. Are y'all there? Are you there?
It don't matter.
Okay, so listen, I'm trying to do this quickly because clearly. Okay, so now Pastor Keon Henderson, the church in Houston, this and that. I know you all have seen the buzz on that, whatever um the situation that happened. And okay, all right, thanks, Ramonda. So now, so there's a lady that's, in the background and she's, making her noise, her noise. I didn't mean to say that. So apparently she's, in the spirit, right? But different church members are coming in. They're like, this lady have done that before and this and that. People are going in on Pastor Henderson because he told her he said, hush. He was like, he's snapping his fingers. He's like, shh, hush. Like, I'm gonna need you to hush that noise because he said the only voice I want to hear right now is God. Like, ma'am, hush, shut up back there with all that noise. And so people are like, now, Pastor, is this real? Cause how you just gonna quench the spirit like that? You just gonna be like, hush. Who does that? Now, I felt like he was pretty I thought it was a little rude, right? I think that I saw where somebody said, now what they could have done is maybe get, you know, um, somebody to take her out, or what I'm saying, something, right? As opposed to him just talking about shh, hush. I mean, he walked over there to her. So I feel at that point she probably would just sunk down in her, seat, like, okay, that's gotta be the most embarrassing thing ever. And I'm sure that's gonna probably have some church hurt, I mean, I don't know. That's what I just think. I think that's what it is. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
everything church hurt nowadays. I almost hate that term. Everything church hurt.
I mean, hey, it's a real term.
To me, at the end of the day, I mean, just go to another church. Church hurt don't mean that you hate every church. That's almost like being racist. You know, if somebody hurt you or whatever case at a church, and you decide, hey, I'm not going to church anymore. That's how they do it. They no. It's just the same as being a racist.
But you
There's
know
a
what? Have you
million
been?
churches
Let me
out
tell you
there.
something. I've been church hurt before. Okay, and even though I know this ain't even the topic, but I have been church hurt, and I'm gonna tell you this: it wasn't that I took it out on every church, but because I was church hurt, I was like, I'm chilling right now. I'm not doing that because I didn't want to go risk going through it again.
Are you in church now?
Yeah,
Okay, well, you good. The
I
thing
know, but
about
I'm
that
saying
is,
that it's been years. It's been years
I
ago.
get it. I get it.
Hmm.
But the thing about that is, at the end of the day, if you came back to the church, you can help somebody else by letting them know, don't let Satan have you.
I mean, yeah, yeah,
Because there's a million churches out there. Go to one that cater to you. Go to
right.
one, go to a
Indeed.
Pentecostal, go to a holiness, and you can flip and break dance in the aisle and everything, and they ain't gonna say nothing. They gonna enjoy it. They gonna push you to do it. That ain't the spot for her. You know,
Well, I mean, apparently she does this weekly, is what they say, right? That's what people are saying. People that go to members that go to the church, they like that lady do that every week. So but
he
still,
should if you do it every week. I don't know if he see. I ain't in the choir,
right?
but that's one of them weeks. You call everybody back there and be like, hey, look, we're here for a purpose. And at the end of the day, especially it depends if they're getting paid or anything like that. It's like at the end of the day, we here to help them get the spirit. You see what I'm saying? Because the pastor, he not gonna do it. He not gonna break the spirit. He not gonna start preaching and then break down. Ah, so I don't expect my other people to do it. The pianist, he's not gonna break down and get the spirit stop playing the piano and be like, ah, So it's like
Now, wait a minute. It can happen
I
though.
know it
It
can
can
it
happen.
can happen, and it sounds to me like if it did happen, he'll walk up to the pianist and be like, shh. So what I'm
I don't
saying
know.
is, if that ain't what you about, maybe that's not your church.
Hey,
I think at the end of the day, if that ain't what you about, that's not your church. Find a church that caters to you. It's like anything else in life. There's so many other places out there that you can get your product.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't. It's not even whether you can. It's a yes. So many churches you can go to another church. That's fine. But I'm just saying the fact that he did her like that. It was just kind of like, wow, Pastor. You know what I'm saying? The people are saying though, as far as him doing that to her, like, now is this all a show because that you felt like that was the thing to do? Um, you know, like, why did he do it at that time? But if she's a regular at this, is she doing something that's real? Is this coming, what I'm saying, really from the
I
spirit?
mean,
Or
she can get the
you
spirit every week. It's not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's not uncommon or whatever. But if you go to a Pentecostal church, what you get the spirit every week, right?
you can.
You
It
get
can happen.
overwhelmed every week. It'll be the same folks every week. I done been to the church before. I can admit that I've been to church before, and I can almost tell you who is gonna fall out in the middle of church. It's like you've been there before, and it's those people like, oh, she at it again.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I ain't here to judge it or whatever, but if you're gonna do it every week, you might not want to go to Keon Henderson Church. Go to somebody else's church.
And I think just maybe at that moment, and like Vanessa said, we don't know the whole story. At that moment, maybe he was just like, okay, I'm not trying to hear that right now. Be quiet. But like somebody said, but you singing, Pastor. If the only voice you want to hear is the Lord, but you singing. So what are we doing right now? So he's singing, she, in the spirit, and he said the only voice I want to hear is God. So hush. But you singing. So what?
Say maybe she need to be out there in the audience. The audience don't have mics. That's one thing about it too. Is if you up there in the choir stand, there's probably mics all around you.
And that's what somebody said. Somebody should have did something with the mic, but the mic is probably
Right.
hanging
They
or
probably
something. Yeah.
they got them all over there. So it would
Right.
have to the sound man. I don't even know if they have it individualized like that. Sound man would have to cut that mic, cut that channel off, and probably the way they mic'd up, you have to cut down the mic around her off.
Right.
It's probably three mics in her general vicinity.
Right. Right. Right.
But look here, man. If you're a choir member, you might want to go and be out there in the audience. That way they can't hear you and your cries in the spirit.
Well, so but I guess the question is, so do you think that he was out of line? Because that's the question. Was he out of line with what with him doing that? With him saying, shh, hush.
To be honest with you, it don't matter what I think. I'm not God. I ain't here to judge nobody, and I don't think he gonna make no apologies for it.
Yeah.
So it's not my. It ain't my call.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know. I'm not here to judge. Everybody gonna have an opinion on it,
Right.
and that's cool. But I don't think that's gonna change who he is. All that's really gonna do is bring some extra people or whatever. I always say no such thing as bad publicity. You know, that's gonna bring some more
Somebody
attention
gonna
to his
come and
church.
wanna see what's going on over there.
Shoot, maybe somebody want to come in there and cause some, cause confusion, get in there and really start screaming.
Right.
So you never know.
Yeah.
He got a big old church, and I don't see where it's going.
One apple.
Really, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see where it's really gonna hurt him.
Indeed.
Yeah, Vanessa, and that happens sometimes. A lot of times the ushers are directed to do that. If someone becomes a distraction, you always what do they call that blanket they put over?
The blanket.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's usually they would do that if she would have fell on the floor.
Right. I'm just saying ushers are directed to do certain things in
Right.
certain situations.
Right.
So
Right. And I think that yes, Vanessa, I agree. I think that's as opposed to him hush. Like, first of all, you televise, you own every platform, all of that. Like that, I just felt like that was not the place to reprimand her. Pull her out. Or he could have said, ushers, come get her. You know what I'm saying? Like that, as opposed to hush. Like, wow.
Man, yeah.
That
Don't
was
act
out of
like
line.
don't act like you don't know how some of these pastors act.
Yeah, that was
You
out of
know,
line. That was out of line.
it's I always say that a lot of pastors talk to you like you up under them. Talk to everybody like they are part of his flock, and you can just talk to me any old kind of way, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
So this ain't no surprise to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I say, I don't think he feel like he was wrong at all. I don't care what America think. I don't care what the world think. He felt like he was right, and he'd probably do it again.
I'm sure we'll hear something from him in the next several days. He gonna say something, some statement, because people's going in on him too much. But Ramonda said, "I think he's wrong. Listen to God. You don't make people feel bad in your home." So
Hey, he said that too. He said, "Listen to God, and we don't want to be listening to you." Talking about He said, "What did he say? What did he say? I only want to hear what he say. I only want to hear God, right?"
yeah, but at the same time, he's singing.
Say, man,
How you singing, sir? You singing, and then you turn around and be like, "Shh, hush."
he just because he the shepherd. He the one that's supposed to be bringing the spirit.
Now you know what he did? Killed it right there. Because now everybody's like, whoop.
Man.
Whether they laughing, whether they agree, whether they something, I guarantee you that spirit was.
Another thing I guarantee
right
you
there.
is she won't do that again.
I mean, and she might not. She probably won't be back.
Ain't nobody trying to hear. They say make a joyful noise unto the Lord, which means you're supposed to be harmonized. If you're gonna do that right there, you should have harmonized with what he was doing.
Man, if she was really in the spirit, she didn't even realize what was happening. So there's that.
Well, and when you say there's that, when he said hush, she hushed, didn't she?
No, he had to walk over there to her.
No,
when he snapped.
When he snapped, it stopped.
But first he was like, shh.
Right.
And she was still going.
So I think you think he snapped her out the spirit?
When he went over there, hush.
Man, if she is
like, hush.
If she in the Holy Spirit, the same thing as when they speaking in tongues or whatever the stuff that they do or whatever. You know, when the people come over to her or whatever the case, they don't stop.
Well,
he was tired of that. Like they said, she been doing that every week. He was tired of that.
That was not the place to reprimand her. That's all I'm saying.
Demisha, what's going on? She said he wrong for stopping her praise. Amen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm saying. It just time and a place.
That wasn't the praise that he wanted to go up.
Well, he was. All I'm saying is, I know it's his church. I know he gonna run it like he want to run it, but there's a time and a place to reprimand people. You are on all platforms, sir. Social media. You're live. you're on, saying people watching you on the internet and this and that and blah blah, and you feel like this is the time for you to go over there to your member and be like, hush.
Hey,
He knew that he was gonna hear it from that. He knew it.
I bet the people on live shut up too.
Yeah, everybody had their mouth wide open, like what? That was out of
Ramona said
line.
God could have been talking through get her as well. That he's not the only one to get the spirit. He said, I would have been mad now. He said, no, she said, I would have been, what is that? I would have been cussing now. Demisha said, we all praise. That's not about him. We all praise different.
Mm-hmm.
She said he should teach his members different forms of praising. Amen.
Listen,
Make sure y'all don't go to his church then. And if you're going to go to his church, make sure you are not in the choir.
I mean, at the very end of the day, he should, communicate to, if he wants the choir members or his praise team or whatever to, be a certain way, he should be like, you know what, if you feel the spirit coming on, go ahead and step out because I'm trying to do something right here. Right. And if this lady, what I'm saying, if this is her normal way of praising, then he was not new to this. So why didn't you already say, listen, sis, we love you, but if you feel like the spirit is coming on, go ahead and walk out, step out, something like. But to do that in front of whatever number of thousands of people he got now, some odd million people done seen it.
Hey, maybe you need to start your own church. They'll love you.
Man, look.
Well, I think from here on out, just tell your ushers if you see it. I mean,
yeah,
I just feel like
I feel like
a lot. I feel like a lot of it is the fact that she was right up there in the choir stand, right up there. You on the stage, and it's happened up there on the stage. So I think that was just his natural reaction. I would tell my ushers going forward, if you see something like that going on the stage, I need y'all to go on and creep up there and grab her.
Yeah.
Or grab him.
Right. Right.
Now that could have been it, Demetri. Heck yeah. Because they don't like that, boy. She said he probably felt like she was taking his spotlight. That could have been it right there. Because boy, you want to make a preacher mad.
Okay. Like
you take his shine.
And the thing is that he was singing. So yeah, it was about him. That's why I feel like it was about him at that time. He's singing, what up, fella, whatever he was singing. God be the glory. Whatever he was singing. I don't know what song he was singing.
He wasn't going that old school inspiration.
Whatever it was. I can't remember what song he was singing. But whatever it was, he wanted, like, it was him. Like, this is what I'm doing right here. Maybe he felt like I'm ushering in the spirit. And then he was like, shh. First, he was turned around looking, shh. What up, spirit? Man. God is feeling.
He felt like he was ushering in the spirit, and she was running him off.
Hey, hush, hush. Like that was, sir, really? That was too much.
Hey,
that was too much. So,
Ronald said he embarrassed her, and that's wrong.
Yes.
Period, at the end of the day,
it was a better way to do that. It was a better way to do that.
You say jealous, huh? I can get jiggy with that one. I mean, I can see that one because, like I say, in my experience with a lot of preachers, you want to make them mad, just take their shine.
Yeah. Now it make you question his
authenticity.
Yeah, like
We said because we felt their praise, so we couldn't hear him.
Right.
She said earlier, we ain't going. She said she ain't going. She's not going to that ragged church. Okay. How many members is up in there?
Right. So I felt like, first of all, if she was, really listening to him, then she would have went on and, what I'm saying? If she was not in the spirit, that she would have went on and tried to quiet herself. Right. But, I felt like it was something that she was doing that was out of her control. So until he went over there and pushed it.
The spirit is always a controversial thing as far as who, when they got the spirit and how authentic it is, stuff like that. It's always a controversial thing.
Right.
I guess you just have to always treat it as if it's a real deal.
Yeah.
But for me, I can't lie. When I see you do it every week, man, it's like, oh God, there you go.
Yeah, well, he should have been done talk to her about that. So,
Well,
mhm.
I think he's gonna talk to her about it now.
I mean, I'm sure it's a big conversation right now. So, yeah,
I wouldn't address it if I
at
was him.
all.
I would. Mm-mm.
So, not to the public. The
Ain't none of
hundreds of
y'all.
thousands of people that's got something to
That
say.
ain't none of y'all business.
Nah, he got some. What you call that? Your
With your
people that
online
handle
titles,
your
the
people that
social media people,
your publish
your publishers.
whatever them. They're gonna say, you need to address it. He gonna address it because there's a lot of negative stuff going on that they saying.
I wouldn't address it. I wouldn't. I wouldn't say nothing. I did what I did. I said what I said. Moving on.
Mm. But see, it seems so rude of him, and you know what I'm saying. The fact that because they're like, are you quenching the spirit over there? So, oh, Pastor Keon, you fake. He fake. Like that's you hear it, see all that stuff in
They
there.
gonna say that anyway. That's one thing about being a shepherd. You can't do nothing. At the end of the day, that's a big thing. He human just like the rest of us.
Indeed,
So he gonna make mistakes like just like the rest of us.
indeed.
That does not mean he is not authentic because he made a mistake. That just means he's not perfect. That just means he's not Jesus Christ.
Right, right, right. Oh well.
Larry, that's our brother.
Oh, okay.
Demetri said, "Don't they hire praise and worship teams?" And
Um,
they might. I mean, some praise and worship teams do get paid. The better ones do get paid. So it's a pretty good possibility that they do hire a praise and worship team.
I don't know if that was just the team or a choir. Couldn't really tell. So
It's probably his choir, though, right?
yeah,
They probably.
yeah. So anyway, I mean, I don't know. I do believe that he's gonna say something. I think he's going to, at some point he gonna come back and have to say something because there's too many people
Ain't gotta say nothing.
out there.
Ain't no need to put no more spotlight on it than it already is. Take care of it with your people. I would address it maybe if I was gonna address it, I would address it to the church, cameras off, and we talk about it then.
Mm,
But as far as the people on the outside,
hmm
I wouldn't even fan that fire.
I think
If I
that
thought if I thought that I did something right, if I thought that I did something right, I wouldn't try to defend it.
he embarrassed her in front of the hundred thousands of people that were watching. He needs to publicly apologize. Say something, sir. Say something to act like to make it seem like you have some kind of compassion for people. Like that was very, you know, um, like he don't care. And
I
I just,
Demetri said, I believe. What did you say? I believe he's going to retract it. I just feel like if he retracted, that's going to play into all of this stuff today because that means he's listening to too many people. And like I said, one thing about it is, he's a human, and just allow him to be a human. And those who understand that he's a human, they can understand that and move on. A lot of people are going to use it as a weapon against the church anyway. It don't even matter at this point. It don't matter if he came back and said something anyway. If you come back and say something, that's going to reignite the conversation. Now,
that's what he says.
it don't matter what he says. It's not going to change people's opinion.
I mean, it will not. But I think that the fact that he publicly embarrassed this lady, like, man,
He did it.
that was a lot.
He did it and it's done.
Yeah.
Even if it was a mistake, he did it. And it's done. It's not going to take back the embarrassment. Even if he apologized, it's not going to take back the embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he could break off some of the offer plate and she'll feel a little bit better.
What the heck?
I'm just saying. Other than that, I don't see the embarrassment is going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be there. Vanessa said he should go to her. I believe he went to her. I believe at church, the first thing he did was probably went and hollered at her.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't, after all these comments, then he probably went to her and said, whatever. Because that meant that she had to deal with that. Some people knew. Some people are in that city or somewhere in her vicinity saying, they're saying, dang, that nigga did you wrong.
Yeah, bro.
So,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think after it blew up, by then he probably should have contacted her and, let her know whatever the case. Either my bad or should have. Like I said, some churches, some pastors have the audacity.
They have I believe they have a podcast or whatever, and I feel like on there or something, when they're sitting down just having conversation, he should just need to say something. Like say something. Or the next Sunday, sir, you need to come back at the beginning before you start preaching because ain't nobody gonna be able to receive you. Hello. Then you need to say, listen, I apologize for last week because I shouldn't have,
Y'all,
quenched the spirit like that.
y'all
So
too rough on that man.
I
Everybody want to admonish the dude, man.
mm,
Demetrius said that means he knows he's not perfect. That humans apologize. Is
yes,
true?
yes, yes,
Yes, he should apologize to her the same way he embarrassed her.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Shannon's agreeing with Vanessa that he should go to her. And you just gave Demisha the spirit with whatever you just said. She said, she said, preach Miss Lady.
I'm just saying, like, come on. He need to.
Alicia, classmate, man. I went to middle school with her. Love to see my middle school people. That's people from Laugh from a long time ago. The older we get, now at this point, we're entering 40 years ago. It's just good to see my people still around from the good old South Side days. What's up, Alicia?
Awesome.
She said he should apologize in a live setting. That's old
Yes,
school. He said
100.
wherever you mess up at is where you.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You embarrassed her on live. Now 12 million people have saw this. I'm gonna need you to come back, sir, and publicly apologize. Get those same 12 mil can come back and see that you apologize and show that you are not the monster that you looked like.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Wait a
Yes.
minute. Wait a minute. You know, because they
Yes.
call R. Kelly a monster.
Who?
R. Kelly.
Okay, Pastor Monster.
Don't, man, don't
I'm
put
just
him
saying,
in
like
that category, man.
it was just
He was just rude.
rude.
It was
Yes, that was
rude. But
rude.
he's not a monster, though.
Okay.
He's just a
I
man who made a
okay.
mistake.
Okay. Okay.
Lord.
Uh, I'm saying that was ugly. It was ugly. And it just to me, it showed
See, that's what happened.
he was not compassionate.
We got church hurt over here. That's what it is right here.
Listen, I told you I've been church.
That's we got some church hurt over here.
Hey.
And it's okay to be church hurt. That's the monster, is the church hurt. But the thing about that is, man, if you really believe, if you really
You know what they call that? A narcissist.
mm-hmm.
That was very narcissistic of him. His ego is what it looked like a lot of ego. Because if you're singing now, look, I'm singing. I want y'all to pay attention to me, but in the background you hear this lady in the spirit. So instead of going on, Pastor, and doing what you do, then you shh.
Man.
That was so big ego, sir.
I
Yes,
think
it was.
now narcissism. I think it's hard to not be narcissistic. It's possible, but I think it's hard to not be narcissistic when you are leading a flock like that. Because you gotta have some charisma about yourself, and when you have that extra charisma that regular humans don't have to be able to lead people like that, it really teeter-totters on narcissism, and it's hard not to fall victim to being a narcissist when you got that many people, because a lot of people praise the preacher like they Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Like they put him on a pedestal like he Jesus himself.
I know.
And it's hard. I think it can be hard to not play into that kind of leadership role, man, when you in there.
Right. I would like to hear from a pastor. I should have got one. Yeah.
I'm sure, man. Look, every pastor in the world, but they
probably on his side right now.
No, every pastor in the world is probably gonna say I would probably, because it's from the sideline. It's kind of like watching a football game and somebody make a bad play or whatever. All of us is gonna be like, should have made that play. Y'all wasn't in that moment.
Right.
You wasn't in that moment.
Right.
And at that point, for whatever reason, the man could have been having a bad day, whatever the case. He felt like his praise was disrespected at that time, and that's how he reacted.
Do you know that one thing about when you're a leader, the unfortunate thing is you have to still be in leadership role, whatever's going on, right? So as a leader, I just felt like that was not how you treat somebody, one of your subordinates. That was just, it wasn't. Now, if after church, he wanted to take her, Sister Bell, come on, let's go back here in the office, right? And want to say, listen, I know sis you're being praised, but what I'm gonna need you to do is, right? That's what he should have done. During service like that, no.
Hey,
Mm-mm.
man.
Mm-mm.
If it was truly a mistake on his part, then yeah. But then once again, we all speaking as people after the fact.
I mean,
None of us have been overtaken while on a stage that large in front of that many people.
right, definitely that, definitely that.
Demetria said the real monster is church disrespect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ramona said he was mean and ugly. I guess that's the description of a monster. Church hurt is the worst, and it can affect you truly because you don't expect that in church from so-called church people that have arrived.
Mm-hmm.
J. Cole, what's going on? One of my DJ brothers, man. He said my pastor always say, "Don't put your trust in me because I'm human and I'm not perfect. I will let you down."
And the Lord won't. Now, and I agree with that 100%. I feel like, you know, as a pastor saying, I won't, I will let you down. But so that means that you are aware that you have, you know, those things
Shortcoming.
that could happen right now. So because of that, you need to come back on live in a live setting, as Demisha said, and apologize. Just apologize. What is wrong with apologizing to her? Because a lot of people got an issue with that. So come on and apologize to her. That's all I'm saying. Show a
Ooh,
human side.
ooh. I'll bring it up this second. Let me get to this person. Literally said there's a way you can calm somebody, and that's calm somebody that's in the spirit while the spirit is moving. There's a such thing as the grieving of the spirit. One thing he could have done is ask one of the congregation members or somebody to comfort someone. Can someone comfort her? Spirit is moving in a different direction, and have someone tend to her in that moment. There's always a correct way to handle a situation,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel that. I understand that. Uh, like I think we said earlier, or we talked about it. I know I said somebody earlier that you can have your ushers when something like that happen. Have your ushers go ahead and be on alert because ushers are on alert for certain things anyway. That's part of being on the usher board.
Mm-hmm.
That's just another one of them things right there. And if he didn't know before, he know now. So basically, at the next usher board meeting, tomorrow usher board meeting and Bible band, you go ahead and tell the ushers, look, have a situation like that next time. I need y'all to move
Go
on
ahead
it.
and take them out. Mm-hmm.
You know, um, mm, like I said, could have been a mistake. Could have been a mistake on his part.
Right.
He ain't nothing but a human. The biggest thing about that is we are humans. We are adapt. We do adapt. And when you wake up another day, that's another day to make things right. So go and holler at your ushers. At the next usher meeting, let them know, hey, we got a new type of situation. Oh, girl, and I would say if she do that every week, go get her every. As soon as you see her tuning up,
Yeah.
right? Go on, grab, go on, grab her and move on out the way or whatever. So they got TVs in every room. She can watch from the other
Okay.
room and catch all the spirits she
Watching the
wants to.
overflow.
Yep,
Going to
you can
overflow.
break dance in another room. And then she said, "So why would we follow or listen to him?" Well,
Hey.
depending on what your definition of "we" is,
Mm-hmm.
because
I
I
mean,
do
he got
neither.
his people. He got
Hmm.
his following.
And you got people who do. Look here, we got pastors who have done way worse than that in our city, who have done way worse than that, and will keep a congregation. So hey,
And not only that, listen, this man has his following has grown by leaps and bounds because he married Shawnee, who is what's his
Shaq's
name?
ex.
Yes, Shaq's ex-wife. So, there's that. I feel like it put him on another level of a platform. So, you know, I think that he just might
I
be
think
getting
he
a
he was
little.
at that level before. Wasn't he?
Well, I mean, he
What's
was, there's it's a his church is a big church in Houston. But when she came, that brought extra followers.
this
You know
his
what I'm
first
saying?
marriage?
No, no. So it was some controversy.
Who's his first marriage?
You say who?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Mm. That's the thing. We didn't really even hear about him until
So
Shawnee married
Shawnee?
him.
I feel like I heard about him beforehand.
I mean, there was some other controversy, some rumors.
Okay. Well, but that said, we are not going to always do the appropriate thing. But again, I believe he should make it right with her privately. Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. Well, not privately, definitely. That needs to be done. But period point blank. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't do it publicly. Well, privately, they definitely need to smooth that over. But I said I don't care if he apologizes on social media, it still won't be enough. And that's the way I feel about it. There's no need for the man to even address social media
It may
because
not be enough, but guess what?
social media is gonna set ablaze, period. Anyway.
Yeah. But if you are an influencer, if you are somebody who care about the social media, because he do, that's why he on all platforms. Then he need to say he gonna have to say something. He gonna have to.
Controversy there. There's controversy
Mhm.
there, and it's gonna sell. It's already some new people that seen him or whatever the case. It's already out there. It's already ablaze. Jaco says, yeah, some of them are semi cult like. Yes, definitely. I won't even say semi. Some of them are cult like. Some of them, yeah, they can't do no wrong. And I get that from, kind of a standpoint of when you're looking at your teacher or whatever. Some people get so caught up in the teacher, these guys are charismatic. If I can say one thing about the good preachers or whatever, the ones with the large um, congregations and stuff like that, very charismatic. And they can win you over to the point where, like I said, he could do no wrong. And I think that's part of the spirit. I think that's, when once your leader gets a hose or rouses up your spirit in a certain type of way, you're gonna look at him differently. It's one thing when a dude is just preaching at you. It's another thing when somebody invokes the spirit.
Right.
Demetri said he'll apologize after he lose followers.
Yeah.
He would definitely. Yeah, I don't like I said. Like man, when you a charismatic person like that, this ain't bad enough. There's preachers out there who have had R. Kelly like allegations and was able to keep their congregation.
I don't think it's not, one of the worst things could happen, but I do think it's social media controversy.
Yeah, and I think social media is part of the reason why it's even a thing.
Right.
This is
if
probably
there was no cameras in there, guess what?
Right.
You wouldn't know.
Right. This probably, I'm positive it has happened in church. I probably have seen it happen in church before. But the fact that it happened in front of everybody, that's why it's big news like that.
Yeah. All right. All righty. So listen. So let's move on.
Yeah. So we're gonna lose over half the show, almost 3/4 of the show.
Boy, that was a big thing. All right. So did y'all hear about the guy? White guy named Christopher Greger. So Christopher Greger, he, I guess, call himself disciplining his 6-year-old son. So what he does is he takes him to a gym, put him on the treadmill and turn up the speed, makes him run. So the little baby, 6 years old, ran himself to death. He ended up passing away because his dad felt like that's how he wanted to punish him, by running him on a treadmill. Just kept starting. Once he fell off, put him right back on it.
I saw it.
You saw that?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about him?
I mean, it's not much for me to address in that situation. It was messed up. He went too far.
Yeah, definitely.
That treadmill situation, man, he went too far with that.
Yeah.
Now, at first glance, yeah. Oh my God, is right. Yeah. At first glance, I mean, at some point he should have stopped.
Yes.
He needed to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure there's a lot of fathers out there who will put their kids in strenuous situations as punishment. Because running, for me, it ain't deadly. He just ran the boy too much. He didn't know when to stop. And it's almost like getting a whooping. It's people who administer whoopings. There's kids who have been, whooped to death or whatever. So he ain't know when to stop. I ain't defending him in no kind of way, shape, form, or fashion at all. But he went too far. I don't know what kind of he had to have been anger. That's why you got to watch out when you discipline your kids,
Yes, and
because
anger.
sometimes you do it out of anger,
Mhm.
and that really helped me a whole lot as far as disciplining my kids. Uh, I'm not gonna do it out of anger. I'm not gonna do it out of anger at all. I always tell my kids, man, I ain't even discipline you. I don't get no enjoyment out of discipline.
This gonna
You
hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you.
look, I don't that don't work no more. These kids who are intelligent, they got Google and everything. So it's like you have to give to me. You have to give them more a detailed explanation when you talk about it. And I always tell my kids, this thing is about consequences for your actions. This is just to let you know that there are consequences for your actions. Because when I'm not there and you're an adult, life is gonna whoop your ass worse than I ever could. But I never go that far. No, he was out of line. I think I saw somebody he was biting him on the head, something like that. That's a messed up situation.
Yeah, that very very abusive, very abusive.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a very messed up situation.
yeah, I
But
mean, while you sit there and just stand there with your arms folded. So yes, Ramonda, the he took him to the gym, put him on the treadmill, and had the treadmill like it was going very fast.
oh yeah, he had that boy. He was moving.
Right now, I'm like, because at first glance, I'm like, now was he training him to run track or something, or But as a discipline, like wow. And then the little boy falls off because he can't keep up, right? And he
He
pick
fell
him up.
multiple times.
Yeah, he pick him up, and put him back on there.
So did they determine the cause of death?
I mean, I don't know what the legal term was, but they did say that he essentially ran him to death. I don't know what they call the term of.
There has to be a time.
I
There got
mean,
to
I
be.
imagine
I
so, but yeah,
mean,
I don't.
exhaustion. Maybe he had some lung issue.
Right,
Might have had asthma, something like that.
right,
They ain't could have just said that Dad ran that nigga to death. I don't think that was it. I think
yeah,
they had it, and I'm pretty sure this came from a TikTok that you would have to research for yourself on
right,
as
right.
far as all the stuff behind it. It's more to it now. Once again, I ain't condoning none of it, but there's definitely more to it than the quick 60-second TikTok that this dude
Hmm.
is a monster, and he is a monster.
Yeah, yeah.
I just said somebody need to put his behind on the treadmill and let him stay on there until he dies. I'm just saying that's abusive behavior.
Very, very.
Demetri said I wanted to say the same thing, but I deleted my comment. I don't know what the same thing was.
The same thing that she said that putting him on there.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. If you monetize anything like that, you don't want to put that on there. Them folks would be the man. They Facebook, they use any reason they can to try to keep you from being eligible for your Facebook check. Say probably heart failure.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cold. That's
I
cold.
mean, you know, well, you don't know, but I know as a dad, as a disciplinarian, you know, you put your kids through some stuff. I would never uh, be trying to cause my kids to die or nothing like that. I mean, it's only so far. After dude fail a couple of times, I'll be like, look, okay, you know what I'm saying? Go in the room, sit down
Right.
somewhere. But I used to do the book thing, and I'm probably gonna start implementing that on my nephew here real soon, where you hold the book up and stuff like
Right.
that. I think that stuff hurt. I don't know if it'll kill you. They ain't killed nobody out of this rule, but it's just,
Right.
but you put your kids through strenuous stuff when you don't necessarily want to put the belt to their behind. You put them through certain strenuous things. You might have them carry something, move something, you know, something uncomfortable, something to make life uncomfortable, and it's
Right.
it's, it's really just to let your kids know, hey, it's consequences for your actions.
Right. 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 Yeah. So rest in peace to that baby. So that's horrible. So listen, now there's a trend now, and I hope that no one is going through that personally, but there's this trend now where kids are like big fighting their parents. Like I mean, kicking and we talking about kids like, 11, 12 years old fighting their parents. Um and I'm just wondering like why I feel like there couldn't be unless your parent is abusive to you and you feel like that you got to fight your way out of that, but why would you want to just sit up and just literally like knock your parent on the ground and just start beating them, you know what I'm saying, as a kid? Like where does that come from? I'm wondering, is that a something they're seeing on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Where's that coming from? But there is a trend of that right
Better not hit this house.
now. Right,
Gonna
yeah.
be calling me a monster.
Yeah. I think but I mean, it's crazy that,
She said cartoons, but cartoons is a cartoon.
oh, it's a cartoon that they do that.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some cartoons have some type of, I don't know, violence or whatever you say. Um, let's say these kids are chained these days. This is true. These kids different, man. If you got grown kids now, man, let me tell you something. These kids of today are different,
Mhm.
man. Even
Mhm.
from I got 21, 20, 22-year old, 21, 20 and 21-year old, and now I went back just 10 years. Just went back 10 years, and these kids, it's a big difference between these two sets of kids. You know,
Right.
I got the same thing, a boy and a girl, same situation, but
Right.
it's a stark difference between the two.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hey, man, Jacob said, "Wish mine would."
Yeah. Go. You want to pull it up?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right. Where's that?
She said the Disney Channel.
Oh
Oh,
Lord. Where are we watching on the Disney Channel
for
where they
real.
beating up kids?
Alicia said, "Wow, I'm about to be 50, and I'm still scared of my mama." Say there is just no way. Like I said, man, these kids are different. These kids are different.
Uh-oh.
What? What? Quincy just?
No. Ramonda said, I'm licensed to carry.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Millicent Edwards. Hey, how's it going? She said, "Wish mine would." She said, "CPS is no help. CPS is almost an outlet nowadays for the kids." Because shoot, I had my own little run in with CPS or whatever. It was some BS, but they still came in and check the scene out or whatever. So yeah, they can cry wolf a lot of times and keep you from being able to discipline them all at the same time. Shoot, and it's almost the same thing with teachers in school or whatever. Teachers in school back in the day, we could paddle and all that good stuff, but now these
Hmm.
kids, nigga, they get in your face,
Right.
all kind of
Right.
extra stuff that
Yeah.
with
Teachers go through it. Shout out to teachers, Lord, because these.
these kids, they know it's like they know the rules now. They know
Oh
what
my
you can
God.
and can't do or whatever. Teachers, I guess it was kind of good that you had a fear of your teachers back in the day
Right.
because these kids they kind of know the rules.
Yeah.
So it's like you
They
can't do this
don't.
to me. You can't touch. You know what I'm saying? No matter what
Right.
I do, you can't do this to me. So
Right.
it's almost they get that lack of fear.
Right.
And shoot, that might have been what kept half of us in line because I know some of my teachers, yeah, they'll put it on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. You was definitely gonna get it. But watching some of these things that these teachers are going through, they getting jumped on, beat up, and you know, like they be in the class, they turn toward the board and a kid will throw their shoe and hit them in the head and books and it's like, wow, man, teachers don't make enough for that.
I couldn't do more than probably sixth grade.
No
Probably
higher than
sixth
sixth
grade.
grade.
Yeah, I probably couldn't do more than sixth grade. I had my brief run in with teaching, and it was cool. I taught. Shoot, they was like first graders, first and second graders,
Mm-hmm.
and it was different too because even in first and second grade, and I was teaching at a Christian school, but these kids nowadays are fidgety. They want to move. Now, back in the day, you always had one or two, but nowadays you could possibly have a room where 75% of these kids is fidgety.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it'd be like 10%, one or two. You got one or two, you might have to sit one on one side of the room, one on the other side of the room. You good. Nowadays, you could have the majority of the room that can't sit still.
Right.
And I don't know if that's something in the water, I don't know what it is, but
Right.
that was the only thing that I really had to deal. I didn't really have to deal with a whole lot of disrespect. But you do have to get them kids, sit down, be quiet, stop moving.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, that's but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all that fighting. Me said that no, she said now the kids talk back and prank their parents on Disney channels and Nickelodeon. I do see a little bit of the pranking parents type of thing like that or whatever. I don't know about the talking back part. Maybe I always thought that was a cultural thing when I was growing up. I was like, our culture don't do it, but obviously, our culture has. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't.
Yeah, we do it now.
Yeah, we didn't develop it.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter. Color don't
Mm-hmm.
matter.
Right.
You know, It happens across the board. But
Right.
I
Right.
I always felt like, man, if you quench that early, that you really don't have a problem with it, later on. I ain't never really had a problem with that. I've always quenched it fairly early, like not soon after they walk and talk. So I've never really had an issue with that.
That was a different. They were a different level of kids. Those kids were not to the degree of today's kids.
Well, we
So
got to get today's kids in the other room in there, and
yes.
I really, right now, I'm trying to fight a whole fear stigma because I do feel like my niece and nephew are afraid, like literally afraid of me or whatever. And it's like I try to get them to understand I'm not a mean guy, you know what I'm saying? But I am a disciplinarian, and if I tell you right from wrong and you choose to go wrong, I got I got to get in your ass. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna necessarily whoop you or whatever, but sometimes I can be a wordsmith and I can say some things. I'm not gonna cuss you or nothing like that, but I'm gonna let you know that you went the wrong. I told you what to do. I explained it to you in detail what to do, and you chose to go your own way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with these kids, you could tell them and tell them and tell them, nigga, and if they want to do something, like they just feel like they just gonna do it. Like I don't know, when we was growing, that's one thing that's different about these kids. When we got told something, especially if it got to the point of a whooping, a lot of times it's like, you know what, okay, I'm not gonna do that no more.
Hmm.
But these kids, nigga, you multiple times, you have to do it over and over and over again. You feel like you're in the Matrix or something.
But you know what? I guess is the funny thing about that to me is the fact that we escape that with Trey and Lyric. We didn't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like they were some pretty good kids overall, right? Like, but like we talked about before, I think God was like, oh, okay, hold up. Let me run this back. Because listen, if you what you was doing in school, right?
Yeah,
So now, boom,
yeah. I mean,
he ran it back
he
on him.
ran it. Yeah,
Yeah.
my
So
bad. And Chris wasn't even bad. She just
I
connected to a
wasn't even
nigga who
a
was
bad
bad
kid.
at school.
Like what the heck?
And I thought I got out the water. I thought I made it out. And he was like,
Yeah.
"No, nigga, I ain't through with you."
Oh, you thought
When your
you
mama,
thought. Oh, okay.
when your
Hold up.
mama said 10 times worse, this is the 10 times worse she
Woo!
was talking about.
Hello.
I'm gonna wait till you 50 years old, then lost some of your strength and energy, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop these kids on you. That's
Boom. Okay.
but I love them, and man,
Ah.
I wouldn't have it any other way. But it's just, man, that being a disciplinarian to small fidgety kids at 50 years old, man, I pray for anybody who have kids over 50. Like anybody.
Okay. Bless you.
Man.
Mm.
Uh, Jacob said, "You remember this saying? I brought you in this world, and I will take
Okay.
you out."
Right. Right.
Well, you can't mean that nowadays, because this treadmill nigga did that.
Yeah, he did. He was like, "Oh, okay. Well, out of here."
I mean,
So,
no, I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna put two and two together, but
I
I
mean,
don't know.
what could that child have done that he deserved that?
I mean, when you got kids talking back and trying to hit it, and y'all kid is 6-year-old kids,
I get it. I
that's
get it.
acting a fool like that.
But it seemed like it must have been something wrong with him that he didn't realize. Let me stop. You know?
I mean, he was just angry. He was too angry to be disciplining somebody. That's one thing you got to learn is when you
Right.
angry like that, you got to calm down. Sit down, take a breath, whatever, and then go into your discipline mode. He was too angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was way too angry. Shannon said, "Don't forget the looks they try to give with us getting up, boy."
Okay, we got a master looker around here. Cause look here.
Oh
God.
my goodness, got me clenching my fist like the little meme right now.
Ooh. Yeah.
And you have to. When I was growing up, man, you got beat down every time you made that face. Every time if you look like you had attitude, you got it beat up out of you. And I would be abusive if I attacked every time, you know, attitude was on her face or eyes roll or whatever. I don't necessarily get the eye roll. I hope to never get it. But
Right.
the looking through you type of situation, your mama, I used to always wonder about when your mama said, "Are we trying to look through me?" It's like, nigga, what is that? But
Now you know.
now I know.
Okay.
Now I know. The looking through you, that's one of the ultimate forms of disrespect because it's kind of like they look through you like glass, like you're not there. Like, nigga, I see you talking, I hear you talking, but I don't see you.
Right.
You know, I'm completely ignoring you while looking at you.
Right.
It's just that's and I have one that is the master.
My.
Sweetest man. I don't know, man. But when she get in her mode, and I have to, man, it's my job to get her out of that. I need for her to recognize that when it come on and then curtail it. And that before she leave my house, I got to get her to understand, recognize it because I think she just get too caught up in her own attitude. And once she gone, she gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like
Mm-hmm.
because it ain't nothing good that ever come out of it. Like you don't win nothing
Right.
for going full scale attitude.
Right. Right.
Recognize it and curtail it as much as you can. I know it's hard,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but for the good of yourself, for the betterment of yourself, learn it, recognize it, curtail it.
Yeah.
And I think as parents, that's something that you have to instill in your kid before they get out the house. Because if you don't, it only get worse.
Right. Right.
Um, me said, and a lot of these parents get away with abusing these kids, like all them parents in the R. Kelly case. Man, that's a whole nother episode right
Right.
there.
Right. Right.
Minister, how Mama Vera would tell you what that's my grandma.
Oh wow.
Yeah, tell you up in the church. No, it wasn't gonna be, it's old school. It wasn't gonna be no funny looks.
Right.
It wasn't gonna be none of that. But y'all feel like when the kid expressing their feelings is talking back, even when you're expressing your feelings, you got to be careful with how you express them. You gotta, number one, you gotta respect the other person. You have to respect the other person. You have to respect authority. That's a thing when you go to court and the judge or whatever. You can express your feelings in court, but if you express them a certain kind of way, you can get a contempt of court charge, which could be a ticket, could be a night in jail. So even regardless of expressing your feelings, you can express your feelings, but you got to learn a method in which to express your feelings. Mm-hmm. And respect goes both ways. So you're gonna have to learn how to respect authority. Authority became authority for us for a reason. Sometimes they became authority because they just lived long enough to make it there or whatever. But authority is there, and you got to learn how to respect authority. That's something that you got to learn as a kid, as far as how to respect authority. And one thing I'm not gonna do is disrespect you. I'm not a person that likes to disrespect somebody like that. So I definitely wouldn't, disrespect my kid. But I will tell them when they did something wrong, and I will tell them in my own special kind of way that they did something wrong.
So I'm gonna say this real quick. I feel like used to be back in the day, if you tried to express yourself, that was considered talking back or whatever. I think that now these kids, they, we have to admit this. These kids are going through some stuff that we didn't deal with, right? And I don't want a kid to, be feeling strongly about something and not able to say, just talk about it, right? So, as long as you're not being disrespectful, but you're just saying, well, I think such and such, whatever, right? Say it in the right way, the right tone, and that, so, go ahead and get it out. Let's talk about it, because it might be something we can talk through. I would rather them talk about it than hold it in and then somewhere else it blows up. So, because like I said, these kids are going through some stuff that we didn't deal with,
Yeah, they
So,
different. We just had to hold it.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like back in the day, it was disrespectful. Like if you tried to, mom be like, "No, don't what? Shh, shh, hush."
I mean, some
So
parents, I didn't get that, but some parents, you plan on get cussed out. One of my best friends I grew up with, nigga, mom used nigga cuss all us out. I'm talking about, man, talk to you bad. So I don't think I ever got that, but nowadays, and that's crazy because you almost got to prove authority to a kid. Like back in the day, if authority was authority, you ain't ask questions.
right, as an adult.
Right.
was that. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't ask questions, but nowadays you almost have to explain and prove your authority, over a kid. I don't think that I don't like that. I don't think that's wrong. But hey,
Right. Right.
um, Phil Negro, that's another somebody else from my middle school days. I ain't even gonna call you government name, but what's good with you, bro? He say, hey, there's no such thing as a bad kid, just bad parents. I can't say that. I can't get jiggy with that one. The only reason why I say that is because I was a bad kid. I wasn't the worst. I wasn't like a bad kid, but I found a way to do the wrong thing. And there was no reflection of my mom whatsoever. Like my mom wasn't about that. That wasn't even a reflection of my family. That was not my family at all. I was just somebody who chose to go the other way. I was just, and I would say there's no such thing as a bad kid. I would say there's a such thing as a kid that makes bad decisions. So I would agree with you on there's no such thing as a bad kid. But I do believe that there are kids that make bad decisions and have good parents. My mom did the best that she could with 4 fidgety kids.
I'm gonna say that there are such thing as bad kids.
I just don't feel like, well, they say that there's no kid that's born bad.
Okay.
It's a learn.
I'll agree with
It's
that.
a learned behavior.
I'll agree with that.
So I don't know. I even though I'm quick to call the kids bad, I'm quick to call my kids bad.
I mean, because here's the thing. I feel like if you have a situation where the teacher comes to you, eyes just like watery because they so mad and they telling you about what your kid did, that's the problem. Something going on. Okay. Yeah.
Kids make bad decisions,
Okay.
and I just feel like they don't understand. Well, once again, let's go back to the kids. They're living in a different time, and they don't necessarily understand losing. Whether it's an argument or conversation or whatever. Okay, they don't necessarily understand the concept of not, getting their way or not winning the conversation.
Right.
And I think sometimes it takes a while to get a kid to understand it. It took me a while
Mm-hmm.
to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
My mom did not understand. It was times literally my mom was in the room crying, wondering, what the hell is the
Right.
devil in this and my
Right.
boy.
Right. Right.
But I just chose to go the wrong way.
Right. Just being defiant.
And luckily she stayed steadfast and unmovable. It was basically consistent, in her teaching. And I'm just glad that she stuck with that for as long as she did. But once again, she was in her room crying. So I'm sure it's days she wanted to give up, be like, look, let me call this folks, come get this nigga.
Okay.
But she didn't. And I'm glad that she didn't.
Right.
So you just have to stay consistent. And we're in the middle of that phase where, these kids, they feel like they can do what they want to do. But I ain't budging. That's the one thing about it. I'm not budging because the thing about it, that is the laws don't budge. Police officers don't budge.
Right.
So it's like I'm not budging. So I need for them to learn that I got 10 years left and I need for them to understand that before they step foot out of this residence. More point blank. So I once again, yeah, I might call, I might even call mine bad. People ask me sometimes, how the kids bad as hell? But I don't mean that literally. It's just not bad kids, but just kids that make bad decisions. And kids that make bad decisions become adults that make bad decisions. And there's a place for adults to make bad decisions. I explain it to my kids all the time too. Right before I put that belt to their tail. He said, no, I'm not talking about the talking back. He's talking about the kids fighting their parents.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, fighting your parents, that's say man.
Yes, another level. Another level.
I mean, you definitely gonna get a whooping at that point. Because I'm gonna have to get physical. You getting physical with me, and I have to restrain you. Like I'm not gonna let you whoop me. I can't let you do that. That's some feelings I can't let you express.
I'm gonna go back and post the video of this on there. Y'all can see this kid is kicking his parent and all kind of stuff. Is crazy.
When he wake up.
The next day, right. I will tell him. Right.
Man, no.
Right.
Yeah, J. Cole, exactly. He's talking about like Bernie Mac said, look at me up and down like I'm short and shit. Say, bro. Got my toes curling over here, man. Look,
Okay.
these looks. I'm telling you, those are the looks, man, that will get you hurt back in the day.
Right.
Earlier, Vanessa said something in the water. Demisha said that chlorine.
Right. Right. Okay, so now let's just go to this last thing here, but you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to go to your Instagram and pull this last one, because this is a listen. This is a listen, or I can just play it. You want me to just play it?
What is
So this is on a good note. This is on a funny, right? Okay, so yeah, I'm. You want to just let me just play it?
Is that what it is? It's just something you just need to listen to.
I mean, it can be looked at. I'd rather, but it's definitely a listen. So this is something that's very humorous. I think that you all have got to hear this, because this is where, where mixing a gospel song with a secular song goes wrong. You want to play it, or you want me to play it?
You can play it. Which one is it?
The last one. You want me to just play it?
I mean, we can address these last couple of ones. By the time you do that, I should have it.
Okay.
That one?
Yeah.
Last couple the last one, these comments on the last
comment.
The last subject.
Oh shoot.
That's well, Vanessa said, when you got boys, you better get inventive. It's crazy out here. They would have woke up with a knot on his head. And that's what we were just talking about. When he wake up. Lisa said she already laughing at the Instagram thing. You might have already seen it.
Oh, yeah,
give me just a second. I did a horrible job in pre-production today. I'm the reason why we was late, because I was asleep. Sorry.
I lost all my stuff.
So what?
I lost the live.
Oh, we still live though, right?
Yeah. Should I say the comments? There they go. God, dang it.
Lost them again?
No, I got it now. All right, y'all. Here we go. Hold on.
Oh boy.
All right, y'all. He winding it up.
Living for Jesus. Take it away, Johnny.
Living for Jesus Christ, saints. You know I don't see nothing wrong with living for Jesus Christ, saints. I don't see nothing wrong. Oh yeah. Heavenly Father, we come before you with the authority given to us by your precious Son, Jesus Christ, submissive to your will, with the assurance that what we ask in Jesus Christ's name will be granted unto us. Heavenly Father, we ask you to please forgive us for any wrong thought, any wrong deeds done, any wrong words said that has not been pleasing your sight, Father. And we lift your children up in prayer all over the world. Amen. I don't see Jesus Christ. Oh, nothing wrong. Hey, hey, listen. On a Monday, I love Jesus. On a Tuesday, I love Jesus. On a Wednesday, I love Jesus. On a Thursday, I love Jesus. On a Friday, I love Jesus. On a Saturday, I love.
Yes, indeed. So there's that. All right.
Run the river was good, DJ.
Y'all gonna remember that song. I don't see nothing wrong. All right.
So you wrong for that.
Right.
That part that she's shaking her head. That's what she's done. She's done with it.
Okay.
Hey.
That was a hit. Anyway.
He should be hit for that. Was that in a white church?
I think that was on like TBN, like on the, one of those where they invite the people, the artists to come on the show or whatever.
So that might have been in the quality looked bad. So that might have been in the 90s.
Yeah.
That might have been in the middle of that Kirk Franklin era, when you thought you could,
somebody thought they could bring the secular in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just brought too much of
Right.
secular in.
That, like, you chose that song, bro?
Well, it's got a whole lot more context now. It's much worse now because of what R. Kelly is.
That we know what it meant. Yeah.
Back then, which is still inappropriate to the mug.
Right. I mean, even if it was what we thought. So yeah. He was out of line. So
Paul said definitely. She said hit continuously.
Oh my gosh. All right,
y'all. We came on late and we gave y'all some extra. Definitely gave y'all some extra. We did about almost 90 minutes today.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, Keon Henderson, he took us right on through. About 45 minutes.
Right. All right. Well, we sure thank y'all so much for joining us on this Monday. It was a little late, but I know y'all ain't sleepy anyway.
What's 10 o'clock? That's probably why our numbers is dropping right now. People are laying it down. It's time to go to work in the morning.
All right. So we'll see y'all when?
Same jazz time.
Same jazz channel. Wait, what? Do that again. What did you say?
Same jazz time.
Okay. Yeah, he said it right. Same jazz time, same jazz channel. Next Monday. Y'all be blessed.